Hey, Vortex here, and welcome to my review of the Blon Fat Girl. And yes, that is the correct name. I've no idea what they've called it. And yet, as usual, it says in the corner, music and dreams, let music burn. Since 2014, so no dreams or opposite, if you know what I mean. And yet, as usual, full disclaimer is, I'd like to thank Linsol for sending this sample to me, so thank you very much. I was not paid to this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own. And these are priced very affordably at around $10. And yeah, let's just get into it. So like I said in the intro, Fat Girl, that's the real name. No dreams, it's back to dreams. So specs, yeah, Fat Girl, mine is the black one. So it's a black Fat Girl. I have no idea how they come up with this, but anyway, let's carry on. So it's a Fat Girl, sensitivity is 114 dB, 16 ohms, so these should be very easy to power. The cable is 1.2 meters and the colour is Athens black. And yeah, let's carry on. Like I said before, these are very affordable, one of the cheapest that Blon have ever made. Some paperwork hidden away in there. Blon 2014. Their usual tips, I guess mediums are fitted. WGZ Blon. Braided cable. I'll open it in, yeah, let's just do it now. So attached cable, which is the negative. These are very light. Again, mine are the black ones, which looks more like a very dark kind of graphite. Little lip on the nozzle. They're very light. They're very I'll leave that off. Obviously, there's left attached cable, which is never good. But again, these are very cheap. So Y split here. That's in there, and this is like a braided cable here. Seems quite straight, really. And mine is the non-mic version, which I always prefer. And that's it. So obviously I haven't used these yet at all. I'm going to put a good few hours on them. Obviously not under the usual graphs, and yeah, I'll see you in the future. Yeah, folks, I've finally on to the review part of the Blon Fat Girl. Again, mine are the black ones, which they look dark on the camera, but in real life they're slightly lighter. So yeah, so let's talk about like power sensitivity and all that. I found them a little bit harder to power than I expected. I don't know why, but it just is what it is. Yeah, not much to say really about it. Obviously left and right on the back. Let's talk about the actual cable. So the cable is okay. It's a braided one from the Y split down. As you can see, microphonics are actually quite decent. Obviously this one is the non-mic version. I don't know what the mic one is like, if it's got a button or the microphone quality so forth. I don't have that, but microphonics on this are actually not bad at all. Let's talk about, yeah, to keep you all waiting, sound. So I'm going to overlay the graph now so you can have a look. These are a really big disappointment, which is a shame, because you want Blon, like the magic they've had since kind of the 03, they've never really got it back, which is a shame. And with this, they're even further away from what they are. So bass is bloated, but it doesn't really have much what's the best way to describe, much attack to it. It looks really thick on the graph, but there's no attack, no slam. It's like one note bass. It's not very good. And it's a bit muddy at the same time. So the bass on these is quite a disappointment, to be honest. Not much to say really about it. Again, these are $10, so it's not a lot of money, but it is what it is. Mids, there's not really much in the way of mids. They really are kind of pushed back, which is a shame, really. Again, this really needed a lot more tuning. I don't know why they released it as they are. Obviously they've graphed these themselves and must have been happy with the product, but they're not very good at all, which is a shame. Again, these are cheap, but I've tried a few at this kind of price and they're tuned a lot better than these. Not amazing, but for the price they're tuned better. But yeah, mids are disappointing, they are pushed out. And the treble is, yeah, the treble's quite aggressive, as in far too aggressive, so they can be fatiguing as well. Again, it should have been a lot smoother. You really want more mids, less treble, really, because the graph doesn't always tell the full story. But yeah, the treble, I didn't really like it. I found it very fatiguing, and there was sibilance. And it wasn't very detailed, like the actual micro details wasn't very good. Again, the timbre of the treble, I didn't really like it. It didn't sound really natural, really. It's kind of a shame, really. Like, he could have done with a lot more work doing. I don't know why they released it as they are, but yeah, no, it's the same. It's about the same, really. Kind of disappointed, to be honest, but for what they've done before, there should have been a lot better. And yeah, so conclusion is really quick. Kind of saying impressions is, do I recommend these? No. They're only $10, and I found for casual usage, as in just watching stuff on YouTube, as in normal videos, not to do with music, they're okay at that. And the form factor, many people do like the cable down, but for music use, I didn't like these. They didn't sound very good. As you saw on the graph, they actually do have decent channel matching, as in driver matching between them, but they don't sound how it looks. You know, it's just they just sound kind of disappointing, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, Blon really need to sort themselves out, because obviously since the 03 there hasn't really been that many good releases. I did like the 05S, not the normal 05, that was too shouty. And I did like the Prometheus, but again, that needed more work and was a lot noticeably more expensive. And yeah, and I was to say, really kind of disappointed. They needed a lot more work. I don't know why they released them as they are. Maybe they just tried to trade off their brand, because everybody knows Blon, especially from the 03. Again, like the Blon 01 was a good one, which I still use on the rare occasion. These ones here, even though these do have a funny shape, and yes, the same tips. But yeah, the 01, these are better tuning than them, and these are not much more expensive. And yeah, I'll probably end it there, really. I won't go on too much, but kind of a disappointing tune, really. But it depends if you really like this kind of cable down shape. And if you just use it for casual use and you want that kind of shape, then they're okay for that. But for music consumption, I don't really recommend them. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. Anything you want to know in particular, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching and take care.